Moana, baby.
Hey there, kaPTi! It's me, Nicole, and my partner, Eunice. If you're ready to further explore and learn the wonders of Moana, what are you waiting for? Let's start! So for today, we will be sharing about the bones that are found in our hands and wrists, and also the muscles in the anterior compartment of our forearm that move our wrist. So for today's episode, we have used the following as our references: Tortora, Brunstrom, Netters, and Kenhelm.
First off, here are the bones that make up our hands and wrists. 1 radius, 1 ulna, carpals, metacarpals, and 14 phalanges. The carpals form our carpus or wrist. It has 8 specific bones that are joined by the ligaments. For the proximal row, or the segment that is closer to the limbs, we have first the scaphoid. The scaphoid is the largest carpal bone and it is boat-shaped. This is the most commonly fractured carpal bone. Next, we have the lunate. The lunate is a moon-shaped carpal bone and it is the most commonly dislocated carpal bone. Next, we have the triquetrum, which is 3-cornered, and the pisiform, which is P-shaped. For the distal row, or the segment that is farther from the limbs, we have the trapezium. The trapezium is a 4-sided carpal bone that has no 2 parallel sides. And we also have the trapezoid, which is also 4-sided but has 2 parallel sides. We have the capitate, which is head-shaped, and the hamate, which is hook. Our metacarpus or palm has 5 metacarpals, which are numbered from 1 to 5, starting off from the lateral to the medial. Lastly, we have 14 phalanges that remain to be numbered from 1 to 5, the same as the metacarpals. These bones form our digits or the distal region of the hand.
So now let's proceed to the superficial muscles of the anterior compartment of our forearm. So these 2 muscles are flexor carpi radialis and flexor carpi ulnaris. So these muscles function to flex our wrists. So flexion of the wrist takes place like this. So this is the anterior part. So let's now discuss these 2 muscles. So first we have the flexor carpi radialis. So this muscle originates from our medial epicondyle and inserts to the bases of our 2nd and 3rd metacarpal bones. So it is also supplied by the medial nerve. So next is our flexor carpi ulnaris. So this muscle originates from our medial epicondyle, the medial olecranon process, and the posterior border of our ulna. So this muscle, of course, flexes our wrist and it is supplied by the ulnar nerve. So now let's proceed to the intermediate layer, which consists of our palmaris longus and flexor digitorum superficialis. So first we have our palmaris longus, which is originated from the medial epicondyle, and it inserts to the flexor retinaculum and the palmar aponeurosis. It is supplied by the median nerve and function, of course, to flex our wrist. Next, we have our flexor digitorum superficialis. It is originated from the medial epicondyle, the medial coronoid process of ulna, and the anterior oblique line on the shaft of our radius. So it inserts to the middle phalanx of the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th digits. So aside from wrist flexion, our flexor digitorum superficialis also flexes the proximal interphalangeal joints and the metacarpophalangeal joint. Let's proceed to the deep layer of the anterior compartment of our forearm. So these 2 muscles are supplied by the anterior interosseous branch of our median nerve. So first we have our flexor pollicis longus. So this muscle originates from the anterior shaft of our radius, inserts to the anterior distal phalanx of our thumb, and it functions to flex the metacarpophalangeal and the interphalangeal joint of our thumb. So next we have our flexor digitorum profundus, which originates from the anterior medial shaft of our ulna and inserts to the anterior distal phalanx of our second, third, fourth, and fifth digits. So this muscle functions to flex our wrist and flex the metacarpophalangeal, proximal interphalangeal, and distal interphalangeal joints. And this muscle is supplied by the anterior interosseous branch of the median nerve for its lateral half. So the lateral half is from the half of the third digit until the fifth digit or the pinky finger, while its median half is supplied by the ulnar nerve.
Yeah, it's Moana, baby.